going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got to talk about this LeBron James IG message where he says, I'm supposed to be number one on everybody's list. Let's see what happens when I no longer exist, which he takes from Jay-Z's 2003 song, What More Can I Say, off of the Black album. And he's saying, look, hey, I'm the top basketball player of all time. And a lot of people don't like when LeBron speak this way because they feel like if you're the number one guy and everybody thinks so, then you shouldn't have to keep reminding us. And Shannon Sharpe is going to bat for LeBron, saying a lot of other greats did it too. Let's check this out.
Honestly, Skip, I didn't really know anything about this till Ash pulled my coattail on it this morning, and I went and looked it up. The lyric, I'm supposed to be number one on everybody's list. Well, we'll see what happens when I no longer exist. I don't think.
Oh, I didn't even know that was is it a song?
Yeah, it's a Jay-Z.
Oh, it's a Jay-Z.
It's
I
Jay-Z
should have known
lyric.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skip, I don't think it has anything to do with LeBron retiring, because I don't think he's retiring this year.
I don't either.
There's a narrative out there that I do keep seeing, that why does LeBron have to keep reminding everybody of his greatness? None of the other greats, Michael Jordan and this one and that one, never did that. But I'm going to disagree. There's Tom Brady had a documentary, Man in the Arena, posted literally at Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. Tom was the executive producer. So in other words, Tom Brady, as historically and transcendent great as he was, he had a documentary that reminded you of his greatness. Lionel Messi took a picture with an actual GOAT for an Adidas ad, reminding, when it comes to this football, I am the GOAT. Michael Jordan had a 10-part documentary called The Last Dance. Jordan literally supervised every clip. He was the executive producer. Nothing made that documentary without Michael Jordan's blessing. And it only got greenlit after LeBron James came from 3-1 down in 2016. Bill Walton told the story at the 50th anniversary script, the 50 greatest players of all time. In 1996, it was 96 season, 97, it was the All-Star game happened. He said Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan was sitting at a table arguing who was the GOAT. So this notion that only LeBron James have ever done anything to remind people of his greatness is just not true. Because when you create a narrative that you say LeBron is like this and nobody else, and when somebody else can dispel it, well, he still did it. He shouldn't have to do it. But I'm telling you, Michael Jordan did it. I'm telling you, Tom Brady did it. I'm telling you, Lionel Messi did it. So I'm just trying to figure. So what's the deal? If that's the angle that he's going, Skip. Now, like I said, I don't believe LeBron is retiring this year. Now we do know eventually it's going to happen. AD said he doesn't know if he's going to make it to the 2024 Olympics. Mm-hmm. Well, that's next summer, Skip. Last I checked, that's next summer. But nah, Skip. I'm just trying to figure out, why does people try to create this narrative that only LeBron? A lot of what LeBron is doing, where do you think he got it from? To build a brand, to do this shoe thing, to do all this stuff. Where do you think he got it from?
Okay.
And now let's look at LeBron James' stance on the GOAT and also Michael Jordan.
If you care about being called the greatest basketball player ever, does that matter? Do you want that?
I don't want it, in a sense, because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against. What everybody's saying I am, I never had the chance to compete against other legends that was prior to me. When I hear it, I cringe a little bit because, it's a little bit embarrassing because no one knows, I never had the chances, once again, to play against those guys, I would love to have played against them, but I never did, and for you to say that I'm better than him, I mean, it's your opinion. It's their opinion. I accept that as their opinion. If you ask me, I would never say that I'm the greatest player, and that's because I never played against all the people that represented the league prior to Michael Jordan.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. That's
so
what
many
I felt.
reasons.
I was super, super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when y'all everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years. Everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
So when we look at Michael Jordan and LeBron James' take, it's a very different public approach to it as far as, when they're asked directly about it. Of course, when these guys step on the floor, they feel like they're the best ever. No problem in that either way, because there's no need to step on the floor, especially when you're that caliber of player, and not feel like you are the best that's ever touched an NBA floor. And they both have a right to feel that way. What I will say personally, what I get tired of with LeBron is him saying it in real time, mostly because he's still doing the work. You know, he's building on his career. If he would have won this year, it would have added to his legacy. I don't feel like him losing in the playoffs takes away from his legacy at this point. I mean, that's just my opinion. I know some people see it differently, but you know, LeBron's already is what he is. If you think he's better than MJ, then you already feel that way. If you don't think he's good as MJ, there's nothing he can do at this point to change your mind. That's just what the argument is right now. Jordan, yeah, he talked about the Last Dance documentary, but how many, and that's Shannon Sharpe I'm talking about. He talked about the Last Dance documentary, reminding people that, you know, he's the GOAT and all of that. I don't think did Jordan say that on the documentary? And how many years has it been since Michael Jordan has played? Like, we have a chance to look back and reflect on it. That's what made the Last Dance so special. You know, all this stuff happens too much in real time sometimes right now, and that could just be the old head in me talking. But honestly, I just like for LeBron to let some things marinate. Like, we'll look back and see how special he was when he's not playing, but you don't have to force feed GOAT. And as it pertains to the Jay-Z lyric, I should be number one on everybody's list. I've never subscribed to that with anybody. Him, Jay-Z, or whoever you can name, because people have an order of ranking people for whatever they're doing based off of their own criteria, and everybody's criteria is not going to be the same. So when you make a statement, I should be number one on everybody's list, some people just might not like what you do. I ain't gonna say they think you suck, but you're not their favorite. They see some quality and value in other people in a profession where they feel like they number one and you're not in their top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be some respectable takes, it's gonna be some bizarre takes, but at the end of the day, it's just different takes in the sport, so it's subjective most of the time. You know, you could find a reason why any great player in the top 10 is number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, people's gonna look at it and they're gonna break down all these stats in different time periods. I will say that it's hard to compare eras. Like, I talk about Bill Russell playing in Boston and coming home and having poop in his bed, and he's not playing on the road, he's playing in Boston. You know what I'm saying? He played in a time period where you had to overcome those mind games and all the death threats from the home city that you playing in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to deal with a different animal. You know, you think about Wilt and all those guys, everything they had to deal with back then is so tremendous off of the floor. You know, they was under tremendous pressure at the time. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even compare a player that could just show up to the gym, play, has hundreds of millions of dollars or $1 billion to their time frame, because what they went through made it possible for you to even exist in this time period. So that's why I don't like GOATs, because like everything works together. You can't take away from the people that come before you. So even that lyric itself, if you're talking about people that paved the way for you, how can you be greater than the person that inspired you in the first place? I never understood that. You could take some things, I guess, quote unquote, to the next level, but what are you taking to the next level? The map they laid out for you. So I would just look at that, and that's basically why I don't like GOAT over different eras type debates. If LeBron said he's the GOAT of this era, okay, yeah. Jordan, there's another video where Jordan talks about his different eras, you know, so you know, he said, I never played some of those guys. In this video, he said, I never played some of these guys. That's great. So we'll never know. So that's all I got to say about that. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.